Welcome to the GunChannels.com lobby chat.
How you doing there, Knives?
Hey, Bill.
Another one.
Yow.
Pink. Sorry, I thought you had left. That must have been G-Webs. Who said I'll be back.
I'm still
back. Well, that was another good run on Matt's show tonight. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
What's up, dog?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Chilling.
They got me started, though. I had to go make a big plate of cheese and crackers and pepperoni.
That sounds
Pepperoni?
really good.
Yeah. Munster
Hold
cheese
on,
tonight. Well, go ahead. Sorry, Nuts.
What kind of cheese?
Munster.
Hold on, let me go tell my brother real quick.
And I'm cooking dinner now. You got me thinking about snack food again.
Yeah, that I'll tell you, that is the only problem with the last couple chats with Matt. We've been getting into food, and I just sit here drooling on myself the entire time. I'm surprised my keyboard still works.
Yeah, I'm snacking on chicken, little chicken tender type things.
Oh yeah, those are great.
I know my dog's gonna love it when I share it with them. So
Hey, is it Munster cheese or Monster cheese?
Munster, Munstr.
All right, cool. Let me write it down on Google.
Yeah, it's kind of a bland cheese, so I'm having a garlic and tomato Triscuit with it today. So good stuff. I like flavored crackers, so good junk. And Bonded Beam and Crystal Light.
I'm cooking a hodgepodge of things tonight just 'cause I'm trying to use up the food in the fridge so I can go to Costco.
Ah. Yeah, I had to stop shopping at Costco for a little while because I need to clean my freezer out so I can defrost it. It's one of those older freezers that needs defrosting every now and then. One of my big one downstairs, I mean.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, they work pretty good. Unfortunately, this was in an upright. If it was a chest freezer, it would work a little better. But it was still made back when they had energy guides and all that crap. We used to use it for the game we used to shoot. You know, we put deer and pigs and bear and stuff in it. But we haven't done that for a while. But my dad's getting into it again, so I'm thinking of planning a trip for the early fall. Maybe we'll go shoot us a pig.
Yeah, normally me and the wife don't need to shop at Costco, but I got a bunch of my brother's kids coming down, so I've got to stock up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great place to buy food in bulk. You know, I mean, can't go wrong there.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead.
Well, so I'm about to have 3 teenage boys in my house, so they're gonna eat me out of house and home. I gotta bulk up.
I guess.
yeah, better stock up on toilet paper.
Yeah, I keep telling my siblings I thought I was saving money by not having any kids of my own. I'm just supposed to have to pay for the wife and the dogs. Then they send their kids to stay with me during the summer. Oh.
Well, whose fault is that? It's a win-win for them, right? They get rid of the kids and they get time to themselves.
This is true.
Yeah, my family is very underpowered kid-wise. I have 2 sisters, and one of them has 1 kid, and the other one doesn't have any. So, not a lot of kids running around our family. We let all our relatives in Maine take care of that. They pop out 5 or 6 at a pop, so good deal.
Yeah, I've got one brother who's got 6 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have his 3 teenage boys here, plus his 6-year-old twins.
Oh, my God. So you're going to be doing those.
We lost him.
Oh,
Have you noticed that each generation we have less and less kids?
that's that type R versus type K stuff. Most of the people you hang around with are type K people. Have fewer kids and try to do a better job with them. Rather than the type R people that just breed a whole shitload of kids and whatever they have.
It goes down to accountability. Nobody's got any nowadays.
Nope.
I'm not used to having real little ones in my house, so I had to go through and put all the guns away, which is different.
Little McNuggets.
6-year-olds.
Those are the worst. Once you're 3 years old, fuck that shit.
No, I don't like babies, but which I found out after I had my daughter. But I like them when they're old enough to talk to them and screw them up. 6 is a pretty good age too. You can take them a lot of places.
Hey, Bill, have some crackers over here, man.
Yeah, really. Well, at least the 3 older kids, you can take them down to the gun range.
That's
might-
typically what we end up doing. They come out, and now that I have the house out in the desert, makes it easier because now I can go shooting about 15 minutes from the house.
Oh, good.
And then we got the dirt bikes and the quads and everything else they can go have fun
You know
on.
you got quads?
I'm down to 1 right now. The second one I'm either going to sell because I don't feel like fixing it, or I'm going to bite the bullet and fix it. Not sure yet.
Fix it and sell it.
I have fixed it. Your wife's got to have something to drive.
Hers isn't the broken one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to go through the trouble of fixing it because I kind of want something new.
I see. Ulterior motive. Well, the 6-year-olds, they're almost old enough to use a little cricket or something like that. Give them a little single shot 22.
Oh yeah, no, I already have the 22 rifles set out for them and everything. It's mostly
Excellent.
just I'm used to having like all my ARs hanging on the walls.
Oh.
Stuff like I have the glass cases on the wall,
Uh-huh.
but I can't secure those so that the kids can't get into them. And my brother's wife is I don't want to say she's an anti-gun nut, but she's a worry nut. So
Well, that's only fair. I don't leave any guns around in the house at all. I have mine all locked up in cabinets except the one I carry all day.
it's just polarly different because me and my siblings, we were raised with guns on the tables.
No.
We just different generations.
Well, my dad kept him in his closet, just on one side of his closet. So we could get at him if we wanted to, but we knew if we ever touched him, we'd get such a ream and it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, and I'm used to it. The older kids, because the older kids come over, they go, "Hey, uncle, we want to go shoot that one." All right, take it off the wall. I'll get the ammo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we were all raised to respect them and not mess with them. I mean, I think I had my first one. My first gun, I think I got when I was 10, maybe. My first real gun, not like BB guns and shit. We don't count those in my family. But I think I had my first single action 22 bolt action was a single shot bolt action. I think I was around 10 or 11. And then when I was 12 or 13, I could take it out in the woods by myself. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, I think I was 10 or 11 when I got my first 410.
Yeah, there you go. That's
my
funny.
grandfather.
Go
Go ahead.
Nope, you go first.
I say my grandfather was big into reloading and utilitarian, so shotguns were a big deal.
Oh,
Always had to save all the 410 casings and everything.
no, we never had that. But it's funny because I just bought a 410 for my dad. He wanted something a little lighter, and he's got a friend that's got a deer problem, and he told him he could come on the property, but the biggest thing he could bring was a 410. So he's going to use I guess they make a new kind of 410 shell, which has it's got like a string of it's like buckshot, but it's like a string of buckshot inside the 410, in a line, and apparently shoots really good.
Those are, I think Winchester makes those. I think those like the PDX Defenders or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but he wanted to try that, so I went to the gun store because any excuse to buy a gun, and I found this old Johnson bolt action 410 with replaceable screw chokes on the end. You know, it only has two. It only has a full and a modified. And I was able to get the gun for a $1.50, which I thought was a pretty good price. And I gave it to my dad, and he was just thrilled with it. You know, it had a little bit of like paint spotted on it and shit, so it gave him something to do to clean it up. But he says it shoots like crazy. He says at 50 yards, it's off like a half inch with the buckshot. So I said, man, that's perfect. That's just what you need.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's nice. It's nice being on the other side. I'm like, my dad's like 84, and he had got out of the guns for a while, but you know, for a long time, he and I hunted together, and he was always buying guns and saying, "Here, use this. Here, use that." And he's one of those kind of guys that never holds on to anything. You know, he's always trades it or screws around or sells it or whatever. So I've become like his gun store now. Whenever he needs a gun, he just comes over to my house and says, "This is what I need. And this is what kind of ammunition I want." And I just go to the cabinets and get it and give it to him. And he uses it for a season and brings it back, and I put it away. So it works out pretty good.
That's a nice system to be able to have.
Yeah, and because I'm a buy and just like with stocks, I'm a buy and hold kind of guy. If they're useful, I just buy them and hold on to them. And I collect a little bit of milsurp and stuff. But it's great because whenever he needs a 12 gauge or a 30-30 or any of that kind of shit, bolt action, he just comes over and says, "Here's what I'm looking for." And I usually have enough of a smattering of ammunition and shit that he can do whatever he wants. So as long as the state don't catch us, we're okay.
Yeah, hard to believe. I mean, I'm in a situation where when my father passes, we're not exactly sure what we're supposed to do with his rifle. Because
what kind of rifle?
He's got a full auto.
Ooh,
Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill,
that is a good question.
Bill, no disrespect, man, but that chomping dude, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chopping in my
hear
ear.
that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll flip the thing up when I'm doing that. Sorry.
All right, cool, man.
See, now that's the advantage of chocolate. When you eat chocolate, nobody can hear it.
That's true.
Yeah, no, we got to figure out what's going to happen because my father's full auto. It's a beautiful gun. It's historical, but don't know exactly what's going to happen now when he passes.
Yeah, you need to talk to somebody who's up on gun law.
Because, to my understanding, it's non-transferable now.
Yeah, but we have sort of the same thing in Connecticut because like AR-15s are banned and they're not technically transferable, but there is language in the law that they can be passed down in a family. Now it is a little different with a full auto because you need a class 3, right?
Yeah.
In order to own that. But I think that's why I'm saying I think there's two things you can do. The first thing is you need to talk to a gun lawyer and find out if you have a class 3, can he pass it down to you? And the second thing is you need to talk about putting together a gun trust.
Well, I need to get his residency put in the same state as me.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's kind of where a lot of our hangups are, is that we don't reside in the same state right now.
Yes, my dad and I do not either, but don't tell anybody.
So it's like I said, that's just that right there is going to be the biggest difficulty because I'm not going to. Odds are I'm probably going to be one of the last people to find out if something happens. So just because of the distance, so I'll be on. I'll get that call, and by then, okay, well now we got to go through his stuff and getting that.
But I definitely would talk to a lawyer about that because the gun trust might get you out of that because I don't think you have to be all in the same state to all be members of the trust.
No,
as long as you're allowed to own the gun in the state you're from,
but we should
be okay.
We missed the window because they believe they made the changes to the trusts last year.
They just made them harder to set up.
All right, I'll have to look into it more, But
Yeah.
actually, guys, I'm going to run because my wife is now home and I've got to make dinner or finish making dinner.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
good.
Later.
Good for you.
You magnificent.
Yeah, making dinner. I miss doing that. Now I just
Hey,
cook for
thank-
myself.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I read that. That's something else.
Which one are you talking about?
He posted an article in the External.
Yeah, but the Finlandia cheese or the guns.com?
Guns.com.
All right, well, let me bring that one up. I'm always good for a laugh, even if it's a sad little laugh. Pittsburgh. Oh, shit. These guys are not helping us. Ooh, ow. I see why you put that one in there because of the NFA items. Well, I used to shop regularly at the store that got closed up here in Connecticut that sold the gal the AR-15 that he killed all those kids with in Sandy Hook. Because that's like about 5 miles from my house.
Sandy Hook is, or the shop?
The shop. Yeah, Sandy Hook's a little further away. Cash and carry, cash out the dirt. Oh my God. Jeez. Without a background check. Oh, jeez. Prior mental health commitment. This is just horrible. He's like the freaking poster child for shit you don't do.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, they ought to lock his ass up. Well, the shop that sold the guns to the guy's mom, I don't like saying his name. There was a guy who was coming into the store and stealing guns on a regular basis, and they didn't even know it. And they found out because the cops stopped the guy and searched his apartment, and he had like 16 of their guns in his house. And so, needless to say, they got their FFL revoked and all that. And I
was
have
going to say they didn't know that these guns were coming up missing.
No, they had a terrible inventory control issue, and in fact, the reason they found out about this is because they used to have a Barrett sitting on the cabinets, right? And this guy actually walked in when no one was looking, grabbed the Barrett, and just walked right out the door with it. And then a little while later, somebody noticed the Barrett was missing from on top of the cabinet. And when they went to track it down, they found out this guy had like 15 or 17 of their other guns. It was just crazy.
They had no security system or anything in there?
Nope. No, apparently not. And if there was, they weren't looking at it. You know, I'm sure they had cameras and shit, but you know, if you don't look at them, when do you look at the camera? When you find out something's gone, right?
Yeah, because my shop, my local shop that I go to all the time, I mean, it's a small shop, but my God, he's got like 20 cameras in there. He's going to see who walks in that door and walks out that door.
Yep. Well, I have a friend that worked in the shop, and he was one of his counter guys, and he got pulled into the investigation, and he turned. I won't say he turned state's evidence, but he wasn't. You know, he knew which side his bread was buttered on, and he knew he better, cooperate. And so he got off lightly. He got off with they charged him with misfiling the 4473s, filling them out incorrectly. And he got 5 years probation for that. And he was not allowed. He wanted to get his FFL, and they would not allow him to get his FFL. But that was part of the plea bargain. was he agreed to wait 5 years to get his FFL. So he's been running a full FFL. So he's been running a little shop here, you know, a couple miles away from the one that closed. And he just sells ammunition and parts. He's not allowed to sell guns. And his probation just ended. And he's actually buying the shop that he used to work in. So he's going to go back and buy the Riverview Sports that he used to work in and get his FFL again. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, I know my local shop, he also does gun shows. That's where he gets like 70% of his sales from, his gun shows. And he's always taken 200-300 guns to these different gun shows. And I do know that they have, had like 1 or 2 guns stolen from them, at gun shows, because they always have the security cable running through all of them that alarms when it's disconnected and stuff. But like, I guess they got hit by a team of people. Like, if somebody goes up and wants to see one gun, and you've got 2 other guys that are off at the end, and at the exact time they turn that alarm off to get that gun off, they grab a gun and walk away. But his records are so well kept that they realized it before the end of the show.
Right, they can report it immediately.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They called the ATF, said, "Hey, we were at this location. We've had a gun stolen from us." Gave all the information to them and everything else.
Yeah, part of the problem with this other company was they dealt in used and consignment guns, and those are just out on racks, So you could pretty much just walk up, put one of those under your arm, and walk right out the door with it. I mean, they had an alarm on the door, the typical bing bong happy horse shit, but it wasn't enough to do the job.
Yeah, there was another local shop that, my God, he had thousands of milsurps and everything else. And see, that's what he did. They just had the walls lined with them, and they had them on floor stands and all kinds of stuff. But there was always 5 or 6 people in the shop just sitting around bullshitting and watching anybody that ever came in. So.
Yeah, that's where you need a camera on the outside of your door and on the inside of your door. And every time you hear the bing bong, you're looking at the 2 screens to see is somebody walking out with a gun in their hands or not, or walking in. If they're walking in, you're fine. But if they're walking out, you could at least figure out what's going on. I went to a pawn shop in Pennsylvania when I did my recent trip to Arkansas, and same deal. That guy had thousands of guns, just double row on the wall, 2 rows of guns in double-sided racks on the floor, and that was not even counting the shit that was behind the counters. It was just amazing. The guy was just loaded with them. Fantastic selection, but he wouldn't negotiate any prices, so I didn't end up buying anything. Which is too bad. He had a gun I really wanted, and he wouldn't negotiate the price at all. So oh well.
Yeah.
That's probably why he had so many. There's 2 kinds of gun dealers. There's gun dealers that know what a gun is worth, and they're willing to negotiate the price a little bit to sell a gun and get it out of their inventory. And then there's guys that say, well, this is what this gun is worth, and I'm not taking anything less than what I can get for this gun. And I find the guys that work the first way are the ones that do better in business. We have a great little store down here called the Newington Gun Exchange, which I think we talked about a couple of weeks ago on Daily Gun Show. And these guys carry milsurps and used guns, consignment guns, new guns. I mean, they do it all. It's a relatively small shop, but once you bought a couple of guns with them, you just say, "Hey, I bought guns here before." 10% right off the top. No questions asked.
Nice.
Great. Yeah, really. I buy a lot of guns down there because I buy a lot of. That's where I got that Johnson. Actually, that one I couldn't get him to come down, but they were right. It was only 150, and they said this gun is worth 150 all day, all night. There's no way we can come down on it. And when I got home and did my homework, I still got a really good price, so I didn't feel bad about it. But they're willing to work with you, and the people behind the counter in that shop are good gun people, and they're not bullshitters. They don't try to sell you whatever the gun du jour is or the one they're getting the best kickback from the dealer. They really listen. Their first question is, what are you going to use it for? They're very good that way. And they're especially good with female shooters. They have 2 or 3 female representatives behind the counter, and they are really good with everybody. I like them a lot. I pop down there every 3 or 4 weeks to see if there's anything interesting that's come in. They're really the only shop that I found in Connecticut that has the variety that I'm looking for, that's still willing to make a deal every now and then. Most of the other big gun shop, there's only one other big gun shop, well, 2 if you count Cabela's, but there's only one other big gun shop in town, and those guys are, whatever MSRP minus 10% or whatever, that's it. That's all. They primarily work in new guns. They don't do any consignment guns, and they will take a gun and trade every now and then, but they usually get, pretty hefty prices for them. But I will say their ammo prices are a lot cheaper. So if I'm looking for ammo, I go to them. If I'm looking for guns, I go to the other store. If I'm not getting ammo on the internet. Well, we can still do it. Luckily, they haven't passed a law yet in Connecticut. You got to send them your driver's license and your carry permit. But you can still order ammunition online and have it delivered right to your house here in Connecticut, as long as you fulfill those requirements. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yep. But guns, you still got to transfer them to an FFL. So, yeah. I had a really good night with my Ruger Mark IV tonight. We had our rimfire match tonight, and I shot a 97.3 and a 96.4 out of 100, which is not bad.
That's the only bad thing. All of our matches are always on weekends.
Oh, our on Wednesdays we alternate between rimfire and centerfire offhand, where you can use open sights or a red dot. So one week it'll be a centerfire, and the next week it'll be 22, and that'll go in for another. That goes for about 22 weeks, right in there, and then we switch to rimfire, and we just use. We have like a fall season for rimfire, but we don't have a fall season for centerfire, and that's on Wednesday nights. And then on Thursday nights, we shoot trap every Thursday night. So that's fun. And then once a month on Monday, we shoot centerfire, steel sights only, two-handed. So once a month on Monday, we do that. And every other week, we shoot archery on Tuesdays. So my weeks are pretty full. I mean, I get a lot of shooting and stuff done during the week. But on the weekends, that's when we do our specialty matches. So that's when we do our long gun matches typically on Saturdays at 9. And then on Sunday, we don't allow people to shoot at the range till 1 o'clock because we're not that far from a lot of churches and shit. So out of respect, we don't start till 1 o'clock. And then that's when we shoot our weird matches, like we do some IBS bench rest matches, and that's when we shoot like bowling pin and crap like that. But it's fun. I'm shooting, 4 or 5 nights a week, and usually 1 or 2 nights a weekend. So, 1 or 2 days of the weekend. So it's just a good time for me. I love doing this stuff.
Right. Yeah. See, I'm always working weekends. So, and then our local range, they only do the matches on weekends, and they each weekend they kind of alternate. One weekend it'll be USPSA, one weekend it'll be still targets, another one will be cowboy action, stuff like that. But during the summer with vacations, me running vacations and everything else, Saturday matches are rough because I'm always working Friday nights.
Do you have a regular shift that takes you through the weekend?
No.
Oh, okay, because I used to do that. I used to work Friday to Monday, and that was a real pain in the ass.
Well,
10-hour day, 4 days a week.
I'm supposed to have 2 days off a week. It's usually Wednesday and Friday, but then when I'm running vacations, I'm usually bumped up to 6-7 nights a week.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope you're getting paid overtime for the vacation coverage.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that's not bad.
See,
I was salary, so I didn't get paid for none of that shit.
Yeah. See, like last week, I think I put in like 70 hours because I was working 12-hour shifts all week long.
Wow.
So that'll be a good check.
Yeah, I will say before they promoted me so they didn't have to pay me, that was a good deal. I remember one year, right after I started working for the company, me and one other guy broke the overtime budget for the area. Just the two of us. Well, we were working nights. We were working Tuesday to Saturday, and we were working second shift, 4 to midnight. And what would happen is the midnight guys would get cocked, and they wouldn't come in. So they would come to us second shifters and say, does anybody want to work a double?
Yeah.
So we would do that. So alcohol been very good to me in my lifetime.
Yeah, I know probably about 5 to 7 years ago, I was the very top of the overtime list of our company in the whole district. I was pretty much everybody knew my name.
And that's the thing, when you're young, do it while you got the chance.
Yeah. Yeah, to help pay for toys and stuff like that. So.
Yep. Toys, little kitties, all that good crap.
Yeah.
That works out good. And I was just happy when I got older, when I could, settle down and work my 8 hours or 9 hours and go home,
Looking at Harleys for nice.
It's a real boy's bike, right?
Nah.
Or no?
I got 3 bikes. They're all Jap bikes.
No, I don't care. I just like them all. I don't discriminate.
Well, what's really funny is I belong to an Italian motorcycle club, but 90% of the people in the club don't own Italian motorcycles, but we take anybody. You have to, when you join the club, you have to swear you love them, but you don't have to own one. So that's kind of nice. Well, I belong to a Moto Guzzi club. My mother was actually the secretary at a club for a lot of years. She's the one that got me into it. Because everybody in my family has a bike license.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm looking forward to doing some camping here in another couple of weeks. Throw my leg over my big old Gull Wing and go out there and do some camping.
Ooh, look at that old BMW.
I love them. BMWs are great bikes. I mean, they're just so, the precision in those things is just phenomenal. But I can't afford them. They're just too expensive.
Yeah.
You know, I could buy a used jet bike for a quarter of what you'd spend for a Beamer.
Yeah.
But I do love them. They're great bikes. And the Hogs got good again too. After they got past the AMF years, you know, they turned into decent bikes again.
Yeah.
It was really funny though. I'll never forget the one and only time I went up to Laconia, up to Loudon. I went
There you
with
go,
my,
Pete.
oh yeah, there you go. Little 600. That's just classic. That's a great little bike. But I went with my my daughter had married into a family that was all Harley riders, and so of course I'm riding. At the time I was riding an '81 Honda Gull Wing Interstate, and of course everybody's laughing at me, you know, the Jap bike and all that shit. And we get up to Laconia, and the first day of Laconia, we're all stuck in line, you know, sitting there waiting to move. And of course, my water cooled Honda is not having any trouble at all because, you know, the fan comes on, cools it off, no problem. And we saw 4 or 5 of the Harleys overheat, and they quit. They couldn't get them restarted. So we had to laugh on them on that one.
Yeah, some of the prices on those bikes, no, it's even at Christmas. That one's not bad, 2,500.
Well, it's because it's used. You drive a third of the value off the bike as soon as you hit the sidewalk.
Well, I know, but some of the prices on some of these bikes is outrageous.
Oh yeah, a new 1800 is like 30.
They can ride all year long. They can ride all year round down there too. So that's another thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't really affect the prices. I mean, if you were to buy a new full size Honda Dresser now, you'd probably put down around 30,000.
Yeah, but if it was,
I've looked at houses that were cheaper than that.
I mean, if it was November and that bike went up for sale, then it'd be a lot cheaper. '89 Electric Glide, 6,500.
Yeah, well, I'm not real big on spending money for motivation. I'm driving a 2000 Chrysler Voyager van that I bought 6 years ago for $2,000.
Yeah.
And my new bike is my '93 Gull Wing 1500, and I paid $4,500 for that. Well, I'm not real big on spending a lot of money on bikes because they just don't, you know, crap like that just doesn't hold its value. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids living at home. So, you know, AAA and a credit card, I'll drive any kind of junker that's running around out there. I could care less. Just come tow me home.
There you go. Nice.
That's one of the things I loved about living here in Connecticut was going up to Americade and looking, because that's like a touring bike showcase up there. I mean, you can see any kind of bike you want to look at. They've got 5 of them running around up there.
Only bike I like from Harley Davidson is the Fat Boy.
Yep. Classic.
Make it choloed out.
Let's see. I like the Dynas.
Yep.
Lowrider, Dyna Wide Glide. Yeah, I'm happy.
Seen a lot of women on low riders. Well, they love those things.
Ducati. There's a nice bike.
The Desmo. You got to get the Desmodromic valve system on those. Oh. Fast friggin' bike. Scary.
Yeah.
We had a couple of guys with those in the club.
Scam. Beware. It's a scam. Stolen motor. No pink slip. He wants to use another pink slip from another motorcycle. What about that Shovelhead Rigid to the left of that?
That's a little pricey. See, bikes are like cars. Guys put a lot of money into them, and they customize them for themselves, and then they think they're going to get all their money back out of it afterwards, and that just doesn't ever happen. Because no one wants exactly the same bike you have.
Yeah.
They'd rather have a stock bike that they can work with and do stuff with.
She's got an SS motor on it.
Mm. Is this pink slip thing, is that a California thing?
It'd be like
Yeah. It's just registration.
So it's like a title type thing.
right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, 3,000 for an FZ6. That's not bad.
No.
Honda Rune.
Nah, too much money. Looks like their version of the Boss Hoss.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had one of those, cracked the frame on it 3 times. Of course, he did have a nitrous package on it, which might have contributed to that, but no, I can't see myself towing a trailer with any of those bikes.
Yeah, that Roadstar, maybe.
Yeah, those are nice bikes. That's why I like the Hondas. Schroeder I don't own a motorcycle or a car or a vehicle without a trailer hitch on it. So
Yeah, that one buddy of mine, that truck driver, he let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3. He's got about 5 or 6 bikes, and the last one he bought was one of the shit. What does he call it? It's one of those Boss Hoss trike setups. And I know he paid like 30 or 40,000 for it. But how he was looking at another one that was like 60,000.
Nope, too much money.
That's all he does is buy, trade, sell. I mean, he's got more money than what you could think of. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, so do I, but I keep mine.
Yeah.
Slick.
That's nice. An old police bike.
Yep. Yeah, probably another 10 or 12 years, I'll probably have to go to a trike in order to, because my knees will go, you know.
Yeah.
But not terribly interested in spiders. I got to have a single wheel in the front.
Yeah, I know.
You know, if it's got 2 wheels in the front, it's an ATV.
And I hate those damn road glides, man. I've got to have something in the back.
You mean seat-wise or luggage-wise?
Luggage-wise, to keep the passenger on the bike.
Yeah, I've got one of the old 81 Interstates that has a full Honda front end, but it's got the Vetter ass end with all the triangular luggage. That thing's a hoot. That's a lot of fun to ride. I actually like it better than the 12s. The Aspen cage that came in afterwards, because it's lower to the ground. It has a lower center of gravity. I've got Markland floorboards on it, and I can drag the shit out of those on either side. It's a great little bike. I had to get a bigger bike because I started riding in Pennsylvania with the trailer, and it was just too much. The hills were too much for the bike to drag the trailer around.
Right.
So I got a 15, and that pretty much solved that problem. I don't like the 18s that much. I don't like the styling on them.
That's a nice one.
Geez, that's not a bad price. A 2-year-old bike for 14 grand.
Yeah. How many miles is on it? 8,500.
Wow, hardly used. $4 grand a year.
Well, I can't say anything. Mine's got 5,900 on it, and it's a 2001.
Oh my god.
Well, see, mine's not built for long trips.
Yeah, you sounds like I've got a Yamaha 850 triple that I bought. It was an 81 that I bought new in 85, and it had like 150 miles on it. And I think that one's only got about 40,000 on it.
Yeah.
I hardly drove that thing at all.
I mean, it's got no bags. Yeah, nothing like that. It's
Yeah, not a touring machine.
no.
I put soft-sided luggage on the Yamaha. That worked out really well.
Yeah, see, mine's got what, about 25 grand in chrome on it. So
Oh shit, yeah. That's a Goldwing, huh? 77.
$100. Oh, look at that little thing.
Jim needs to get a Grom once he gets his van.
I've never
Stick that
even heard of
motherfucker in
that
the back.
model.
They've been around for like, what, 3 years already?
Wow.
How many
Uh,
CCs?
hold on. I think
It's like a
Kawasaki
4.5.
came out with the one too.
$125 CCs.
Oh my God, just a baby. Yeah, that Go Wing is all stripped. That's why there's, I mean, shit, all the plastic's missing off of it.
Yeah.
I don't even see a seat. It's a pretty small picture, though. Maybe there's one there. I just don't see it. Wow. Yeah, see, there's nothing there. Four,
I'm not seeing anything.
four cylinder instead of 6, too. It must be a 750. Must be what they actually call a silver wing. Yeah, parts bike. Frickin' exhaust is missing. Half the exhaust is missing.
Yeah.
Yep, selling for parts, missing stuff. Yeah, no shit. Oh, I'm sure somebody's out there that needs a frame or something to be willing to $100 can't go wrong. Cost you more than that to ship it.
Yeah.
Hmm. That Beamer, now there's a nice road machine for you. Oof,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
that's beautiful. I like the styling on that one too. Could use a little bit bigger windshield, but other than that, not bad.
Well, that's one thing about, I mean, they're all about safety too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think weren't they the first bike company that came out with ABS standard?
I think. But yeah, they give riding classes. You know, they want to make sure that whoever buys their bike can ride it.
Yep. Little Triumph. Very nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite color right there.
Yeah, that's a nice bike.
My dad and his brother had a pair of Match Super Chiefs back in the 30s. I bet they wish they had those bikes back again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what year it was. 72? 73? But my mom had bought my dad a brand new Triumph. And I think it was about that color too, that green.
Yeah.
And bought it for him for his birthday. I think he rode it like 4 to 6 months and then took it and traded in on a Honda 754.
Oh, that was a classic bike.
Yeah.
And back
Yeah,
then,
she
that was a big machine back then.
Oh yeah. There's orange metal flake.
Oh, jeez. I remember my dad had a 305 Dream, and that was a good sized bike back then.
Yeah, she was so pissed at him.
Oh, for selling the one she bought him? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
can't win them all. Yeah, my dad stopped riding around that time. He slid his bike under a tractor trailer and said, "That's it, I'm done." Fucking road rash for years.
Yeah. Yeah, he had all the saddlebags, the backrest, everything on that 750. It was a pretty nice little bike.
I bet she got used to it after a while. Got a lot more comfortable to ride on for a passenger.
Well, see, she never went with him.
Oh, that's too bad.
Of course, she had her own bike.
Oh, is that a Super Cub? Back up a page there. Oh, it's a 110. Okay, no, not okay. I thought maybe it was Super Cub, but it's not. My first bike of my own was a Honda 90. I used to ride that freaking thing everywhere, bench seat and all that shit.
Yeah, my first one was a little Honda 50, two-speed automatic.
Yeah, with the big almost like with a step through, right? Almost like a scooter, except it had the
No.
big plastic. Oh, yours didn't have the big plastic thing on it?
Mine was just like a little mini bike, but had the big like ATV tires on it.
Yeah. Oh no. Ours we had our dad bought us for riding around the yard. Our dad bought us a little 50, and I think it was a Super Cub, and it had the big front splash boards like is almost like a Vespa, you know. And he ripped them
Right.
all off. He stripped it down, and it was electric start, but it was still a manual tranny. And Christ, us kids used to drive that thing freaking all over the place.
Yeah.
We loved that thing. We had a big garden. We'd ride around the garden.
Nice bike.
Lots of fun.
What size is that?
Which is that?
What was that he was looking at? Oh, it's ZX6 600.
600, yeah.
Ooh, nice one. 2006 Kawasaki ZX10.
Yeah, can't ride a Ninja bike. Can't lay my gut down on the gas tank. None of that. Not doing any of that shit.
I almost bought a Hayabusa about a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, you would have hated that. Those things are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the price was right, and it had LEDs on it like my bike. So, yeah, I was wanting to get it.
Most people use it for long distance trips now. They're like couch. There's some Marine that had one. He uses it to go from Washington back to California. From LA all the way to Washington. I don't know where the fuck he was from.
It'd be a nice trip.
No, this thing had like saddlebags, those big old plastic containers on top of it and back of it.
That's a nice around town machine.
Yeah.
Very classic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vulcan. Yeah. Bonneville's, those are pretty nice too.
Yep. Very light bike for the size of the motor. Peppy little bastards. Oh, there you go. Come down to Costa Mesa, California.
Is it moving must sell? Is that what it says?
That's what it says, yeah. Practically brand new. It's the kind of thing where you mail all your shit out and you drive the bike wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Screw that moving must sell shit.
There you go. CM400T.
Yeah. Nice little step seat. Take the kiddies for a ride. Probably runs just as good as the day it came off the factory lineup, too.
Yeah.
A little short, but not bad.
Price is right.
Yeah. You get them down a little. Get down to 14, 1350, 1400. That bike's been around a while.
Ooh, $1,000 for a Fireblade?
Have to ask him what's wrong with it.
I don't see the seats.
And it's probably got a hold cylinder in it or something.
Good run bike, mostly cosmetic, apart from a bent upper fork tube.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. You bent the upper fork tube, there's a good chance the frame's cracked.
Yeah.
You have to strip it to find out.
Honda Nighthawk 650. Here we go. Damn.
Those are good gal bikes because you could change the mounts and get them down low. I had a lot of gal friends in the old days used to ride Nighthawks.
Yeah, as far as my first street bike, it was a Yamaha Maxim 650.
Oh yeah.
I had fun on that.
No, my first street machine was Yamaha RD350B, 2-stroke. Fast. That was a fast bike.
Oh, shit.
Buzzier than the bastard. Yeah, some assembly required, I guess.
Oh, no, those are extra parts.
Oh. Got another whole motor for it, yeah.
You must be getting out of the racing game.
Yeah. I've got friends that do that. They love playing around with that stuff. Every year it's a new bike or a new setup.
Yeah.
Shit, 118 and a quarter. That ain't bad. With a 200-pound rider? Shit.
That's not a bad price for a drag bike.
Yeah, it's amazing what you could find for toys if you're willing to go out and get them.
Yeah, Road King trike.
Yeah, but that's a shitty add-on. They didn't change the ass end of that. They just did the add-on thing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harley Davidson for a while, they were the only company making a factory trike. And I had a friend that bought one because he had a bad back, and he said he couldn't ride it. It was too stiff. So he ended up having it. He had it in traded on a Honda 1800.
Yeah, they I mean, they are hard to steer.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the steering. It was the suspension was just way too stiff.
Oh,
Just
really? Okay.
just beat the hell out of them.
Damn, look at those pipes.
Yeah. Those will rattle the neighbor's windows. Freaking straight through. Not even glass in them.
No day in that.
Yeah, that's why he's got the cardboard underneath it. Freaking thing is still leaking oil after all these years.
Ooh, 6,500 kind of white glide.
He stretched the front of it though.
Nah, that's factory.
Really? Oh wow. It's got a hell of a rake
Thing
on
about
it.
the bike. Yeah, the white glides have longer rake and air.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was looking at that 2003 Suzuki SV1000, 2,800 bucks.
Yeah, it's cheap enough. Nope, gut bike. Can't ride that one.
That's right next to fucking what's his name? Hosh.
Oh, is it?
Like across the street from him.
There you go. Motorcycle trailers. There you go. Mine's better though. I got a really old one.
This is a kind of sexy version, the 125.
Mm-hmm. Way too small. That's just a utility trailer. That's no good. I got a pop-up. I like the pop-up better. Got an old quick camp. Love that friggin' thing. Yeah, my first motorcycle trailer, I went to Ames and got one of those 4x4, with the lighting kit and all that shit.
Yeah.
The trailer frames, and then I went to Sears and got a Sears Escargot car topper because that was the biggest car topper you could get, and that's how I made my first drag-along motorcycle trailer. I used that friggin' thing for years. Then I ended up making the trailer 6 feet instead of 4, and put a wooden lift deck on it, and put the Escargot on top of the wooden lift deck. The lift deck was about 8.5, 10 inches high, so I could store all my big shit like folding chairs and stuff like that in the lift deck.
Ooh, ZX14R.
Oh, that's a sharp looking bike. I like the color scheme on that.
Nice price too.
Yeah.
You can tell he's burnt the rubber off of that too.
Yeah, well.
Of course, I would also.
Geez, 45,000. That's not much mileage. We like to get into the twisties with that one, baby.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Take that down to the
3,900.
tail of the dragon. Yeah, it's got reasonable mileage for that age, though. The
Yeah.
bike's only 7 years old. 40-something thousand. That's not bad. So I mean, he drove it. He put some miles on it.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
not out of the ordinary. Maybe he commuted with it. I'm only watching these to see if my bike shows up. That way I know it's been stolen, It's like reading the obituaries to see if you're listed. 2002. That's it. Boy, that Gullwing's in nice shape. Except they fucked it up and put a sidecar on it. Boy, that is a nice rig, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a Hannigan? No, that's not a Hannigan. It's a Velarex. A lot of the guys in our club are in a three-wheelers club, too, so we see a lot of these. That's beautiful, though. Geez, so what a nice job. They did color matching that.
Yeah. DVD player.
Yeah. Pretty. Geez, that's not a bad price either.
Yeah, 17.5.
This freaking sidecar is probably worth $6.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, nice job.
22,000 miles too. That's not too bad.
That's very low mileage for that old bike.
Yeah. Ooh.
What, the XR75?
There you go.
Yeah, it's a hideous color, but other than that, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Well, I tell you what, I hated my new one when I bought it. It was like a burnt orange metal flake. And I thought it was awful. It was not a stock color. The guy had stripped it and repainted it. But I'll tell you what, after a while, I really got to like it. So I guess some of that stuff just got to grow on you for a while.
How much is that? 1,800.
That's a little pricey for a bike that old and that small. Hmm. Oh well. All right. Well, I guess it's bedtime for me, guys. Nice
man.
walk down memory lane with the bikes. Good deal.
All right, Bill.
All right, Knives. You have a good evening.
You too.
Pink, stay out of trouble. Don't work too hard. But just remember, there's thousands of people depending on you for public assistance. So